You all should be pretty comfortable sending an email message by now, and you may start sending other items such as pictures or documents. To send a picture, all you simply have to do is, under the Home tab, click on New Email Message. Type the address that you want to send this message to or this picture to. In my case, I'm going to send it to Alan, not to Chu. Subject, we're going to call it koala picture. Now I have a koala picture on my desktop. Here, you want to make sure that there's a new text box labeled attached that shows the koala JPEG file. Write a quick message. And simply press send. And there you've sent your first attachment. You may also attach a business card with your email message. To do that, again, we're going to go ahead and open up a new email message simply by clicking on the new email icon. Here we want to go under the Insert tab, click Business Card, Other Business Cards, and we can go ahead and search through our business cards. And I want to send Corinda Rainey Moore's business card to one of my colleagues. His name is Saul Castile. I'm just going to say under the subject headline, once you've drafted the message, simply press send. There may be times when you find it necessary to send your calendar to someone to help them with setting up a meeting with you. You can do this simply by, again, selecting New Email Message. Under the Insert tab, you want to select Calendar. A Send a Calendar via Email message box will pop up. Now you can send your calendar, and let's say that we want to send our calendar for the next 7 days because we want to have this meeting done within the next 7 days. And you could check to see the details of your calendar that you would allow this individual to see. We're going to go ahead and put down limited details. Click OK. Now attached to your message, you will have your calendar that you can send to this individual so they know when you are free and when there's a time slot for an open air time to meet. We're going to go ahead and send this to Alan. We're going to call this G's calendar. And simply press send. Lastly, Outlook also allows you to send any Outlook-related items. In this case, we're going to go ahead and send a message again. So click on the New Email Message, Insert. This time we're going to select Outlook item under the Insert Included tab. And let's say that we want to send a message from our inbox. In this case, we're going to go ahead and send the Tech Academy Outlook Advanced message. Now this is under your attachments. We're going to go ahead and send this to Alan again. Include that in our message. Simply press send. In addition to attaching items to your email messages, you may also want to change the message options. In this example, I have a message that's already been drafted, and what I want to do is I want to flag it for a follow-up. Now that I have all of the message composed, all I need to do is to go under the Message tab, Under the tags group, we're going to go ahead and say follow up, and we want to follow up by tomorrow. Now this is flagged to follow up by tomorrow, so I'll get a reminder tomorrow that this particular item is due, and I'll go ahead and send that. You may also request to have a delivery and read receipt for your message. Outlook will confirm that your message was successfully delivered, and when the recipient actually reads the message, there will be a read receipt confirmation that explains to you that the recipient has read your message. To do this, you simply open up a message, draft your message. Next, you want to go under the Options tab. Under the Tracking group, you want to check the box Request a Delivery Receipt and Request a Read Receipt. Once you have that, those two boxes checked, you want to go ahead and click Send. Now, after you send that message, you will also get a delivery confirmation from Outlook, and the message looks similar to this. It'll say your message has been delivered to the following recipients: Alan S. Nadachu, subject request for items on Outlook. And once Alan opens up this message on his inbox, you will also get the same message with the fact that it's no longer a delivered message, but it's a read message. With Microsoft Outlook 2010, you can even add more advanced message options. You can add a voting option to your email. So let's say I want to know if we should have coffee tomorrow. I would simply write the message, click the Options tab. Under the Tracking group, I will click on the Use Voting buttons. In this case, I just need a yes or no, so I'm going to select yes and no. Now I will see on the icon here that says you have added voting buttons to this message. Now the message that I send out will automatically prompt the recipient of this voting button. So I'm going to go ahead and send this to the 3 individuals in my team. Now, the message that we sent earlier with the voting ballot has gotten a response. So according to the response, Alice responded yes. Robin also responded yes. And we're waiting on one more person, so now we can make the tally to see whether we should provide coffee for tomorrow or not. In situations where you can be sending or may be sending a message on someone's behalf and would like to have all replies sent to them instead of yourself, you may change the reply to address to that particular person. To do that, you would open a new email message, as I have here, draft your message, open the Options tab. Under More Options, there's a Direct Replies To button. You want to go ahead and click on that. And I'm not going to change the properties, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go under Delivery Options, have replies sent to Alan. Go ahead and select his name. There he is. Click OK. Now all replies will go directly to Alan instead of myself. Although I'm the one that's sending this message, I'm going to go ahead and click on the Send button to do that. In some cases, you may want to delay the delivery of a message, such as a meeting reminder. In my case, I have a Tech Academy debriefing meeting that I wanted to remind Alan of on Monday, May 27th. Obviously, I don't want to send this reminder until a sooner date of the actual meeting. So what I can do is draft the message under the email message, I'm going to go ahead and go under the Options tab, and under More Options I have the Delay Delivery button. Under the delivery options I have the Do Not Deliver Before, and we're going to say we're not going to deliver this message before Friday, May 24th, and we're going to go ahead and send this reminder at 8 a.m. and we're going to close this. So now this message has a delayed delivery attached to it, meaning that it will not deliver until the date that I have set for the message to be delivered. Have you ever sent an email that was either incomplete or sent to the wrong person? Mistakes happen, and if you're like me, they're bound to happen more often than not. With Outlook, you can recall a message that you sent. To do this, simply you want to go ahead and go under the Sent Items folder. By default, Outlook forwards or sends all messages that you sent to the Sent Items box. And let's say that I sent this email here to Goodson and I wanted to recall it. What I would do typically is double click on the message. Under the Message tab, I want to go under the Move and select Actions. Once I have this menu selected, there's a Recall This Message option. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Now this Recall This Message window pops up, and I'm going to say, are you sure you want to delete unread messages or copies of this message? I'm going to say OK. Now we've attempted to recall this message. Depending on whether if it's been read or not, that would determine how successful a recall is. It can get quite overwhelming if you receive tons of mail on a regular basis. You may wonder how you can keep up with all these messages. This next section we will review tools to help you become more organized in Outlook. The first thing to help you stay organized is creating folders. To create a folder, simply click on the Mail view here. In the navigation pane, right-click on the existing folder labeled Inbox. Then click New Folder on the menu. In the dialog box, select a location for your new folder. In our case, we're going to go ahead and select it and put it in create a subfolder of the inbox. And we're going to go ahead and call this /sales report. Go ahead and click OK. And as you can see, now that if you look at the navigation pane, our newly created folder is listed right under Inbox. With this new folder that you just created, you can drag any particular message to the folder if you would like it placed in that folder. You can drag contacts into that folder. You can drag a number of things to place into that folder. Categories in Outlook 2010 allow you to manage items in many different ways. Categories will make your life easier if you are diligent about using them. For example, they can help you more easily identify what you can do now and help you group similar tasks so that you can do them all at once. To create categories, on the Home tab in the Tags group, click Categorize. And then click All Categories. In this case, we're going to go ahead and select the yellow category. We're going to click on the Rename button. We're going to rename this Matters. Press OK. And what we're going to do now is right-click on the message that we want to categorize as matters. We're going to categorize, and we're going to put it into the matters category. A very important note about categories is that you can apply multiple categories to a single item, as opposed to filing an item inside a folder where items can only live in one folder at a time. You can assign several categories to one particular item. So if I wanted to assign matters, and I wanted to also put this in the Madison College category, I can also do that as well. If you have a hard time retrieving old messages, you should consider creating custom search folders. Search folders are predefined searches that look like normal folders, but the contents are collected dynamically through the search. A single message stored in a folder could show up in several search folders. You should have one search folder for each of your categories if you plan on using categories as a primary organization tool. To create a search folder, if you look on the navigation pane, you will see a search folders icon on the bottom left-hand side of the navigation pane. What you want to do is right-click on the search folders icon, select new search folder, and we're going to go ahead and say any mail from a specific people, and we're going to go ahead and select this. We're going to choose Alan, not a choose. So anything from Alan that we received over the last few months, we'll make sure that we get all of his information, all of his messages into a search folder. There he is. And click OK. Now we're just going to press OK. And now Outlook does a search in all folders looking for anything that was sent from Alan Nadachu. And this is a quick way for you to retrieve any past emails that you may have placed in different folders, or any emails that you want to look for that maybe it's old. You can do a search folders to help you retrieve that. Another great tool to help you search for items is the filter email tool. This tool allows you to filter all non-relevant messages in a particular folder. To use the filter email tool, you would go to the Home tab, go to the Find Group here, filter email, so you want to click on that button, and we're going to go ahead and filter out only our most recent category, which is matters. We're going to filter all messages that are not part of the matters category out of the inbox. And there we go. We've only categorized one message, so only one message comes up. And you can do this for a number of things. So if I wanted to go back and filter only emails with attachments, I can do that. And as you can see, all of the emails that have an attachment is here, and I can look through it. It'll make things easier as far as finding specific emails. There may be times where you just need additional attention for incoming mail, and a great way to do so is to set conditional formatting for your messages. This will change the font color, size, and style for specific messages. To do this, you need to click on the View tab, under Current View, you want to go ahead and click on View Settings. We're going to select Conditional Formatting. We'll add a new new rule. We're going to call this conditional rule Tech Academy. We're going to select the condition. Search for words Tech Academy in the subject field and message body. We're going to click OK, and we're going to select the font. Now let's make sure that we're able to see it in our inbox. So we're going to use a different font, which in this case we're going to use a show card Gothic font. We're going to make it a little bit bigger, so we're going to choose a size 10. And for appearance purposes, we're going to go ahead and select blue so that it stands out in our inbox. You can go ahead and click OK, press OK, press OK. Now everything that comes in blue is related to Tech Academy, either in the subject line or in the body. Our last part in this section, we're going to talk about Outlook option dialogues. You can find the Outlook option dialog by simply clicking on the File tab, which will then take you to the Backstage view. On the left pane, you want to go ahead and select Options, which is right under the Help menu. As you can see, the Outlook options, there's a number of options that we can select. For today, we're going to talk about the general options, mail options, language options, and advanced options. Under the general options, I can change the color scheme of the interface. So if I wanted to go back with the silver interface, I can simply go to the color scheme and select silver. I can also personalize my username and initials. I can also set whether Outlook is the default program for email, contacts, and calendar, or if I'm using another program, I can set the default program for email, contacts, and calendar. Under the mail options, you can change the settings for messages you create or receive. I can create or modify my signatures under this option, change my default font styles, and much, much more. If you use additional languages to edit any of your documents, you can choose your preferred editing language. If you are using a Madison College machine, French and Spanish are available for you to use. To do that, you'll simply go under the language options, select the language that you would like, set it as a default, press OK, then you can start editing documents via that particular language. In the advanced options, you can do a number of things. You can customize what appears on your navigation reading pane or your to-do bar. You have the ability to set the folder you want Outlook to start with when you open up the Outlook program. If you're working on a personal computer, you can adjust your auto archive settings. You can set sound for appointment reminders, export your Outlook information to a file to use with other programs, update settings on your RSS feed. If you're using a Madison College computer, RSS feeds is not applicable.